might end up on its way. Regardless of the next result, Resolve are the heroes, knocking out BDS and opening up the chance for others to break into the top 4. But I'm sure Resolve does not want to stop there, and shutting down Vitality would be a massive boost to the world's chance.
Yesterday we saw so many upsets that I feel like today we're looking potentially to see another one. CJ, Resolve are on a tear. Vitality stand in their way. Is this one step too far for the Magic of Europe?
How good is this? We're just so used to the top 4 in Europe dominating. Just getting in there, Saturday. What is it? Don't even show up. Forget about that for this event, Stumpy. It is game on for young and old. And Resolve, could they be that new team on the block?
I kind of want to see Resolve do well, but at the same time,
I feel like after seeing Resolve yesterday, their main game plan was try not to give too much respect to the team that they come up against. But realistically, that ended up being the perfect plan. Alpha, however, in that back corner shows that respect is sometimes earned.
Yeah, it's already a great start from Alpha. Vitality, to be honest, when you're looking at the eye test, I don't know if Doson's been popping off. I still think they're not quite at peak form yet, speaking to Alpha yesterday. But statistically, at this event, they're clearly the #1 team. And, maybe my eyes do lie, Stumpy, but the numbers sure don't.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the fact that, we're seeing Vitality, despite the errors and the outplay that Karmine Corp suffered, and also the BDS suffered, Vitality, they went through. It was a 4-1. Statistically, they looked brilliant as well. They did not let any of the other series phase them. They weren't thinking, oh my gosh, maybe this is the Giant Slayer open qualifier. Instead, they know where they stand. On the other side of things, though, Resolve going to 7 versus BDS and holding out against the reverse sweep attempt that was faced against them.
Yeah, it was massive. We saw the crossbar challenge. Shout out. Or just, the crossbar was just dominant yesterday. Probably the MVP of day number 2 of Super Saturday. And, unfortunately, for the most part, it was against BDS. But as you said, Resolve Game 7, it was huge for them. And a huge little individual victories as well. Razizmrid and Resolve was an AUG. That's their first top 4 finish. And Ivan and Raziz don't have any grand final finishes. So if they're able to win this, could be their first ever grand final appearance. For Cash, there'd be number 2 for him. Only had the 1.
And bear in mind as well, this is Raziz's best performance ever. He's never got into a semi-final in the RLCS. So already he's looking at setting records for himself, and alongside that grid serve Resolve team, it is the perfect place for it. And I had a little chat, or we saw some messages coming through from Jeff, the head of Resolve, and the amount of work they're putting in behind the scenes. It's gym work. It's not just that, it's then making sure that they're cooking meals for their teams, and if not, they're having a restaurant prepare good quality food for them. It's having a proper schedule and structure too. A lot of people will maybe not who are watching this stream, but generally will think esports is just easy, it's about playing video games. It is not. It's about every single thing that comes into it that is not just within the game. And Grid Serve Resolve, they are proving that point time and time again. This open qualifier especially, but they're still chasing that 1 goal Vitality scored relatively early on.
And it's great to see them ticking every box. Those little 1%ers can add up. Those game 7s when they're decided by 1 goal. Sometimes it's all about what you had for breakfast. And it's good to see Resolve making their way all the way through here into the semi-final. But as you said, Vitality, it's been a strong start from them. Got that early goal underway. Resolve do get a chance to push forward there. There's a nice touch, but Alpha 54 with space. No boost to work with. He's looking for the bump. Nice work from Cash. Able to grab that corner boost. Redosin sweeping through on his first man duties. He loves to do that. Here we go. More offense through from Vitality. 2 minutes left. They're looking pretty comfortable. Trying to lock out this game 1.
I feel like when you look at talk comfortability, it was Resolve looking comfortable at times in their series yesterday versus BDS, but even when they weren't looking comfortable, they evidently did not let that faze them, especially when it came down to that Game 7. They've been pushed very hard here. The amount of shots, or at least scary positions, have been put in by Vitality. It's 7 on the scoreboard. It's going to be 8 in total, and the second shot for Redosin. They held out for a decent amount of time, but in the end, those walls did break.
All over him like a rash this entire game. 3.5 minutes of pure offense. And for 2 goals reward for Vitality. It's a great start from them. I feel like at the moment, seeing Grid Serve Resolve not quite getting into that offense. 3 shots for them, but no sustained pressure.
What a touch though from Ivan. Making sure that he works way up the pitch, earned every single inch that he took there from Vitality. Fortunately, he couldn't get anything from it, but you see him now trying to work out the back. Alpha wanting to try and go for a little bit of a dunk on that back player. Isn't able to get anything from it. And 2 goals to chase now with 70 seconds ticking down for Resolve.
Yeah, it's been your workmanlike here from Vitality in game 1. Really easing into this semi-final. Resolve can't quite get things cooking. This might be the first chance, Ivan. No boost for Radosin, still makes the save. How impressive. I know James was looking at him down the other end for his fantasy lineup. Shout out to my own fantasy team. Phenomenal work. Get yourselves eliminated, but score some goals along the way. Here we go.
That was not
Ivan.
a...
Can't quite
Wait,
keep that in.
oh my god, no one has
no
boost.
to work with. He's
Ivan's
just
got like half a
waiting.
tank.
He's waiting to strike. Here we go. Reset out for 54. Misses top corner. 38 seconds though.
Nice.
And down the wrong end.
And you can see just how much the boost
said that
advantage
on
is in favour of
shots,
Vitality
that
there. And Zen
potentially
knew that
gone
as
in
well. He knows that
most
Resolve
players,
are low. Just pop it high, wait for them to do nothing with it, and then continue this pressure. The ball, since that moment, has not left the blue half of the pitch. Zen removes Ivan for the audacity of going into the orange half. And with 15 team down, it's going to be a Vitality victory in game number 1 in a best of 7 that so far is clearly going Vitality's way.
So
Yeah.
comfortable. I just can't
I
picture
mean,
a time
regardless,
Resolve
this
had,
is a
you know,
great
free
start
solo
for
play, a chance to
Resolve.
work the ball out. Vitality's
Like,
midfield game just
making
too
it into
strong.
the semis in the
Looks like
first
they might be able to get
in
a
the
clean
first
sheet
regional.
as well, unless something crazy can happen here, or Zen can hand the ball off to Cash. But there you go, to reverse sweep. So a little bit of a different start here. They're having to pick up the pace because the favourites at the moment are looking pretty good.
It's infinitely harder to claw your way back. That's the thing. Like, trying to actually get into a position where you're going to be able to, yes, go ahead in this series is great, but as soon as you lose that one, and ultimately you are the underdog team, it becomes a lot harder. The belief may well go, but an early shot for Cash may well be the start of what Resolve need. Just that aggression, making sure that they don't bow to Vitality's pure pressure. They did not earlier versus BDS yesterday, but hopefully they can pick up that same mentality.
I was just looking at the teams there on the player cams and all the members. I remember, you know, you speaking about the little 1%ers, and it reminded me
Oh, that's
earlier
a
on in
good boost,
OCE
Cash.
Stumpy. We were talking to Team
Oh my
Power,
god, that's
who
a
looked
great
very
touch.
sluggish. I don't know what's going on.
Had no boost
And had an
to
interview
get
with
that.
Torsos who said, well,
That would've
Banana
been
Head didn't sleep
very
well last
good
night, so it's good to see that
those two
one end of
together.
things in Europe, they're ticking all the boxes. In OCE, they're forgetting to sleep.
That's good. We love that. Cheers, guys. Making sure you're really advertising that healthy lifestyle as a gamer. My word, power.
Come on, Banana Boy, what are you doing? Here we go,
Big
though,
Head.
Vitality. It's a B-head.
B-head, you freak. Come on, pal.
Vitality looking pretty good. This is better early on, though, from the other side of things. But a couple of chances early.
Bum.
2 shots to nothing and more pressure, as you can see, pushing forward. But this is where they give them a little bit of space. I love the pre-jump from Ivan. It didn't come off. It just did worry Zen off the ball. This is not what they were doing earlier. They were handing up that midfield game.
Just
Ivan
seems like
throwing
they
the
don't
ball
have any
forward
boost.
again.
They don't-
Dosen almost loses
Whenever
possession, but
they
that's
have
a
a good chance
fantastic
of a
bounce
play,
for
they
him with
always
0
have no
boost.
boost.
Razias gets dusted by Alpha, who gets one more over the top. Ivan's reaching. Zen's there as well. He's got Radosin underneath. That's probably not the best pass that he wanted.
And making sure that you pre-jumped on it too, because you know how fast you're going to have to be to make sure that you beat Alpha away from the ball, especially on offense, as that final man did so brilliantly. And Ivan, a player for Resolve that has shown up to the nth degree this time around.
What was that?
Radosin, 100 boost. Meets him in the air as Cash goes for that little basketball dribble. We saw Alpha 54 score a worldie of a goal yesterday in that fashion, but more midfield play. This is a
question of a
much
doubt,
better
I'm
start, but
definitely
this is a
gonna be going
one-on-one for
for
Radosin. The
Oxygen in the
demo
next
comes through.
matchup.
Support arrives in
Love my
defense.
Gentleman's
All Zen
Reserve,
can
it's
do
a
now is
great
track
roster,
back.
but
Still love the pre-jump stuff. I love this aggression. A
no
clear change
doubt
up
in
from
my
game number
mind
1.
Yeah, it's what
Oxygen
Vitality do as
is
well. They
also-
make sure that they
I
pre-jump
want
as
to
much
do
as they
well.
can, but Rado taking advantage of Alpha, removing Ivan from the pitch. Now it's Zen going up, gets a reset, 50 boost to try and edge it again. Ivan
Zen's
is up
got a reset in front of your
defensively,
net, you gotta
demon in
challenge
that
that
blue
fast.
half. Razias just past the halfway line. Cash on target. Zen will be
good
there.
stuff,
And
though.
Resolve showing up
Quickly
considerably
back.
better here on Forbidden Temple.
Yeah, they didn't need the timeout. It's got a nice little change up of pace. It has caught Vitality out for now, but no goals to come from it. Ivan gets the touch, sidewall, not too much boost as Alpha pre-jumps. Knows he has some support from Radosin on the side, and right now Vitality playing a lot more defense in game number 1. You can see Zen playing passive. He's looking for the better outlet. He's trying to dodge those pre-jumps, work his way through this midfield pressure. Double commit for Resolve. Might give Alpha 54 a free touch. Ivan up, meets him well.
Minute 45 now, ticking down, and Vitality, they have not had nearly as many chances as they did in that first game. In fact, in total, they're on 3 shots. Cash on his own, the only shot taker, is on 4, but Alpha now shooting above the crossbar. Raziz halfway over the line, can clear it away. The pressure from Vitality builds, but again, the MVP from yesterday, the crossbar, makes a return to the pitch.
How good is that crossbar when you need that 4th defender? The saving grace.
I feel like
time and
this
time again. Pick that guy
EU
up. Wherever that
regional,
crossbar is,
out of every tournament I've ever watched, the crossbar has been the most effective. Okay, well, it can't save a Zen shot, can it?
And you've got to look to the crossbar there, was not in position.
Well,
and Ivan, he tips it up, and Zen, an incredibly intelligent 50, knows that Ivan has to dive into it.
What are you
He
meant
can
to
then
do?
take the slower touch,
What are
actually
you
cover
meant
the
to
ball
do?
with as much of the car body as possible. Then it's the open net to finally shoot on. Zen, 1 goal, a minute and 11.
Just goes to show and when you're playing Vitality Snumpy, you've got to be switched on the entire time. You know, he
that
came
just
in for
got
that
rid of
third-man challenge, Ivan, but
every
it
chance
was a
of
really
that
weak
being a goal.
challenge, and Zen just forced his way through. Cash misses the double. Wasn't a setup either. Didn't have a teammate ready. There's the redirect near corner, but again, Resolve, they've had a few chances, but not too much quality. I like this though. Cash off the ceiling, has Zen on the backboard to deal with. Alpha 54 gets the challenge early. Vitality doing a lot of defending here, but I mean...
See, every single time it's popped mid, there's no one there because that last player or that player at A3 there always has no boost.
On the side of Resolve as well.
That's Resolve's problem.
Will drop it down towards
I don't know if it's like they're not watching their
on
boosts
an
enough
utterly
or
open
what,
net.
but
Dribbles its
every
way
single time they
towards
try and
the
get
goal
themselves a
line.
chance,
Yet
they
again,
leave
Vitality
themselves
clear by
open
2.
with their pants down
Yeah, just
because
consistency, and it's
they have no
again getting
boost.
caught out. Last time it was the 50 on Zen. This time,
Like then both
just didn't have the rotation.
all
He
3
didn't have the
players
support
on
behind,
Resolve
and
both were
in the
almost
end,
flat
positioned way
broken
too
boost.
aggressively. He was up on that mid boost, trying to get involved, but really had to be a lot more patient.
It genuinely
Double fake coming through
reminded
both
me of a
sides. Alpha happy
homeless
to
person
chip it
without
off
a
the
job.
backboard. The best
That's
touch
how
he
flat
could do.
broke they
Beautiful
were
shot
on
saved
boost.
out. Surely there's the goal.
Okay.
Finally, Ivan gets the
Finally,
first
yeah.
of the series for Resolve.
Resolve were on the board, and
It only
came
took
down
one
ultimately,
decent
bear in mind,
kickoff
that
and 2
double
of them
fake
being
kickoff,
awkward
but we
to the
saw
ball.
how well those fake kickoffs
And
went
they
for
still
Resolve
almost saved
yesterday.
it out.
This time it was the extended play
Oh,
that
boy.
rewarded Resolve with that goal. The assist from Raziz, he shoots it
I,
across
you know, I'm not expecting them to win or whatever,
now.
but
Can Raziz get this one towards any
I'm
important
expecting them
player?
to at least get one game.
Can he get a skim on it? No,
So this is how they're going to be playing all series, and I don't even think they're going to get more than a goal.
Now can't land on it, though. Redosin underneath. Raziz has it back
Miracle
all
they
the
got
way
that
back.
one.
Is there one last chance? Cash can turn side. If the reset can hit him, Zen right there finds. Oh, just they've gone. Anything you can do, we'll match you. Vitality as well.
All right, 2-0 Vitality.
Nice content made out of that on their socials, but.
Let's see if Resolve can
Timeout call.
regain.
Let's see if they can earn their bread here. They've had an extra 90 seconds to deal with things and see if they can change it up. I love the early aggression, but it's sustainable. They had a couple of big misplays, you know, Ivy in particular, that third man, and I mean, Vitality, they're just going to cut you to pieces if you make
I
simple
don't mind that
mistakes.
decal.
Yeah,
that
and you hope to
Cash is
see
on
now,
for that car.
with that extra minute, Resolve going to be able to
Is it
cut
the
their way
best?
more
No.
into the cloth of
Would I
this
wear it?
series. 20
Probably
seconds
not.
gone, and it's that immediate pressure.
But I don't
That
mind
was
it.
their signature yesterday. Cash with very low boost. Has to find Ivan midfield. Ivan now with a second touch, but Zen complete patience. Waits, puts it mid. And again, more patience then. 1 2. It's going to be just wide of target.
Hello.
Alpha's there.
Okay.
He's
Yeah,
not a
there
monkey
goes
man.
Alpha.
He's an Alpha 54. The open net is going to be tapped right home.
Sir, I've been trying to
Yeah,
fix
that
these
post can
things
just
since it made
settle down
straight.
for now. Wasn't required here. Alpha 54 with the beat, but again,
And
it
finally
was
you
Zen
got
with
it
the double
working.
off the side. Well, why Resolve challenging that? It was a
I don't know if
Cash
it
win-up.
was you or
almost a
whatever, but I had 3
disrespectful
viewers
challenge,
for a
you know,
minute there.
thinking that Zen, you know, one of the best players, if not the best player in the world, wasn't going to be able to get a double off that ball.
You weren't watching Western, were you?
Dosen almost
Nope.
with a bounce dribble. Follow up Zen, reset, close
There you
ball,
go.
Alpha follow up, misses
I
top corner.
I've
Yeah, I
tried
just
to
think there's these
actually
simple
I'll
challenges
get
that
off the
they don't
game.
need to be doing Resolve. It's a waste. It's giving them easy goals.
Oh,
But they,
Redosin,
right now,
bro.
they are working
He is
as hard as they
playing.
can to
He's
get
playing
anything on
worldly
target. And fair play to
again
Resolve.
today.
They are making sure that out of all that
500
pressure,
points
nothing came
in
through.
his
Cash
first
now,
game.
long range push,
And
tries to get
pretty
a 50,
decent
didn't
in
score
the
the
second
reset,
one
unfortunately
too.
for him now.
I don't know how
Cash
many points he got in the
pushing
second
back,
one.
isn't able to get anything
And
on the
then
ball
now
until the
doing
midfield
this shit
touch
again
comes in.
in the third
Again,
one.
a low on boost. It seems to be time and time again.
Honestly, I really want to see Vitality up to the
resources to
finals.
follow it up, but Zen with one, the second
really
bump
do.
comes,
I
it's
don't.
open.
I want to see Williams
Alpha
Resolve
and Zen to steal it
after this.
away.
I mean, you can talk
You
about
wanna
the
what?
defensive
William
mistake
resolves
here,
it.
he is, but he had to dodge the
Yes, as much as that would be nice, that's not going to happen.
Offense? They threw an infield stumpy to
Besides, I feel like
absolutely
it's time that
no one. They had a 1-2
Vitality
back sort of
finally
structure.
win
And
something,
that is
because they're
just
still
pretty
that
much sums up
good
the
of a
result
team
so
that they
far
can win
today.
stuff,
They
but
don't
they've
have
just
the
been
connection
short-handed the
as they
whole
did
time.
yesterday. They were so in sync in that grand final against BDS. Right now, feels
I'm
like
not
they're
saying
playing
that
for
No,
Resolve
but it
don't
has to be
deserve
the
to make it. If anything, they do deserve it more, but
So far,
at the
They
same
deserve
time,
it, but
I
that's the
feel
thing.
like
For
if
the culture.
I feel like if
has
BDS
to
were
be
actually
good.
playing like the team they're supposed to be, it would have been a sweep. But then they just threw like crazy.
Can't get anything too
So
convincing.
Resolve is only here because of Mickey Luck.
A few times there's a shot on target from Cash.
Oh,
Resist to
well.
follow. The defense of Vitality
I
so
mean,
far holding firm.
not
and
trying
now
to
their
downgrade the
counterattack
team
is
at
a
all.
pinch to the ceiling.
I reckon they
It's
can
set
make
to
it this
shoot.
far again,
Diving
but I
back
can't say
behind
them
them, keep this
see
one
them
at just
making
those
it
two.
any further than
I
this
just love
ever.
Zen never before there. He just saw.
Not in any
He
scenario.
was stuck, and here he goes again. Down the other end, he was stuck in net. He said, "Come on, then, boys, let's have it." He took a
Especially when you're
1v2
versing a team like
built the
Vitality.
wall, protected
Like,
the net, and then gets the goal.
Even
down
though they haven't had
other
the best
end.
Where the luck
results,
comes
they're
out.
still really good, and they're also the
It's great to
defending
see
world
when
champs.
Vitality's up and about.
You can never
the other
count them
teams
out.
are pretty happy to see it.
I mean, that was also bear in mind an all-in
Besides,
play.
especially
At the end
today,
of it,
they
there was
look
no
like they're not
boost
watching
inside
their
of
boost
Vitality.
consumption,
If that
because
goes
every
wrong,
single
yes,
time they
I
try to
think
set up a
it
play,
would happen, but
the
they are
two
so
players that are trying to set it
confident when
up,
they get the ball
one
in
has
that
half a
position,
tank,
they
the
think,
other
"Okay,
has
we can
nothing
shoot
in the
it." This is
tank,
a-
and then they
the
just
play
keep
is to go for a shot.
hitting the
And
ball
then
mid
was,
for a play,
they will commit
and it
on
keeps
those
going
boost
to a
plays.
Vitality player,
Resist go for the
and
ball
then they
in
get
two,
counter-attacked
can't
and
get any
scored on
touch.
half
Redox
time.
has to get something away from the net. But even with low boost, Vitality still
Literally,
proving
their
that they
only
are an
goal
absolute menace.
that I
You
remember
mentioned the
them
waves,
actually
but,
scoring
I mean, today's
was because
rule
they got
is
one
so
decent
you just
kickoff,
can't
and even
have that
then,
mindset
it
anymore.
still
Back
almost
in
got
the day,
saved.
That's kind of how you played, you know. Let's go for the
So,
safest
yeah, I
option. You
don't
know,
know.
what's the highest percentage play? But now you really just can't.
Unless
think
they
like
step
that.
it
You
up
have
and
to-
really prove
At least
it.
not consciously.
I don't
Like,
want to
you know,
really see
you're
that
not
in the
going through
finals.
it mentally, yeah. It's more of a subconscious, instinctual play. And I think that's what Vitality so far. And I have
And the same goes with Oxygen. If they don't play well against Gentle Knights, then
tell you what,
I don't want to see that in the
midfield
finals
against
either,
Zen.
but
Who's waiting?
if they
It's only
do,
Ivan.
then that's exactly what I want to
And
see.
Alpha's crept up. Zen for the first
Yeah.
time. Little positional miss.
They got one here, but
Vitality, corner boost
Give
taken.
it to Hoppy,
Alpha's
like,
gone, I'm
Besides-
Vitality are really good at holding a
Get back
lead.
in the net. One
Yeah.
goal back.
Besides, it
Still
would be nice to
done it
see
soon.
Joy
It's
to
not
have
a
his
lot of time
revenge
to
against
resolve, but
Vitality,
you get
because
desperate
every
just
single
here,
time that
especially
Vitality
games
have
like
versed,
this. I think
versed,
should be able to get the lead.
versed
Dosage
Moist
is
last
so fast,
season,
though, to get up there.
they always beat them, but it was always pretty close.
Minute 40.
Like in Worlds, they got swept, but every single game but one was a one-goal game, and two of them were OTs. Like they were so close, but they could never win. So I want to see Joy's chance to get revenge, because he's on the best team he's been on since that former Moist / Queso roster.
Resist can get a touch. Ivan high, challenging with Rado. On the ceiling, Cash to shoot, on target. Rado again diving back.
I mean, it's just. I want to see something
What
here
if
from Resolve,
Redoxon is
Stumpy.
playing out of his mind?
Oh, he's
I don't
just,
wanna
yeah,
say it.
he's just
I
playing
might
great.
hold those thoughts for after the series, but
It's so weird. One day, against a team that's really, like, they should beat easily, he plays god-awful. And then you come to a day like this, when they're versing a team that there is still a chance that they can lose. He plays like he's better than Zen. Like, look at this guy! Hello?
The alarm bells have to be ringing.
Bro.
Who do you think you are, Rado?
What the
Get
hell?
on the wave dash. Pinch off the
He's
floor.
playing just
Sending
incredible.
it top-ins. Dueling Dragons out
What
of the
is
goal.
that shot?
But there's only one dragon
And to
here.
think
It
they
is
only
Team
extended this
Vitality
guy's
on a
contract for 1 more
burning
year,
down
meanwhile
Resolve.
Zen and Alpha, they were extended for 3 years.
Disrespect from Redosa attempting that and only attempting it, absolutely nailing. Here's a reset, almost should have been a goalie. Ivan had the reset, didn't flip in time. As pressure comes through, but 4 on the board for Vitality. 20 seconds left. The timeout buff did
Oh
not
my
work.
god.
This has been such smooth
Not
sailing for
again.
this side. Resolve haven't
Okay,
really
it's
fired
not
too
in.
many shots.
I think Zen didn't get his flip. If you did, that might have been
Not
it.
particularly
Maybe.
impressed.
I mean, it would have been tough because there was 2 defenders, but knowing Zen, he'd probably pull something out of his ass.
It clearly didn't change anything. The scoreline, if anything, got worse.
Magic.
And you're hoping game number 4 they're going to be able to turn something around. But
Did a bit of
Vitality
CK,
are
I need
standing
that.
very, very
Because I had
firmly in
11
their
points.
way.
Hey,
And I wouldn't bet much on
Now for
He didn't look like that
If you're going
last
to
year.
lose, do you want
He
to lose
looked
playing your
way more
way or
alive.
just
He had
folding
more
and
colour in
collapsing
his
and toiling
face.
up in net in the
He
corner?
just looks really...
maybe Rocket League's
I think that even
draining
if it's
him in
not,
general.
you know, it's not
Maybe.
working
Like,
out
he
for
just
them.
doesn't
Although to be
enjoy
fair,
it.
he does look like he does look like a better player than he ever
I want to
has.
see some pre-jumps. I want to see
Like,
some aggression. We saw
So maybe he's just
Yeah, but that's
grinding
the
like
thing.
there's no tomorrow, and it's just
Yeah,
wearing him
grinding
out.
just absolutely wears you down.
So
Yeah.
static, and that's why they're losing these
He
challenges
just
in
doesn't-
the field. So
He's
I
probably
wanna see
like
some pre-jumps.
probably
When you
like
see
putting
Zen's
in
got
like
100, you know
I
he's
don't
gonna
know
take it
7-8 hours
upstairs.
a
Get up
day.
there already. Meet him in the air and start forcing them.
Oh,
Oh, man.
but it's,
Yes, it doesn't mess me up.
Stuff like that, Stumpy.
that was a
I
good
watched
play.
him.
Radosin out, Zen passes it back to Radosin and he just slots it in the one spot where there was no defenders anymore. Well, they can't do anything about it. I mean, it's already, it's game over basically. Unless we
It's
see,
already
like,
game
okay,
over.
yep, there we go.
Yep, there you go.
I was about to say, unless we see some magic here, I don't see it. I don't see it happening, but yeah.
Yeah, this
No
is
magic.
This is not what we want. Certainly not what we want here. If you're a Resolve fan or a fan of a good series in general.
Will you be betting
but
on the
credit to
Oxygen
Vitality.
Dimple, mate?
They look so
Oh yeah, for
dominant.
sure.
I've just temporarily
You
decided to
bet.
leave the game.
Oxygen, but I'm not putting in a lot of points because I can see it going either way. And as much as I want Oxygen to win, I can also see Gentlemans just absolutely sweeping them. It just depends on how they show up on the day.
Central reset, nobody there waiting for him.
Because
Torrado does.
on paper,
And
both
we've
teams
seen a
are
couple
very
of
close.
opportunities where
Like,
Resolve are trying
I'd
to,
give
I think,
Oxygen
present
the
us
mechanical
what they
edge,
were
but then
to
I'd give
be yes
Gentlemates
the
the
other day.
teammates
Show
edge.
that you are there to play, that you've
team
got the
players
boost, that
and
you
stuff.
want to
So
challenge as
I
often
don't
as you
know.
possibly can. Because as you say, CJ, that is the winning formula against teams like this.
Oh, well, that one's a
we'll
tough one.
absolutely control the play.
No,
Ooh.
I disagree with you there, but
With what?
the mechanical part.
Oski and Joyo. Joyo's a former freestyler. Oski was from the most mechanical team in the world from last year.
I might leave the lobby deliberately.
And then the other 3 players on
You were an
Yeah, but-
accident.
Gentlemates are all just not. They're just not mechanical in that way. And also Archie's pretty mechanical. I don't know, you know, he's nowhere near as mechanical as the other 2, but
You're just forgetting that Seiko just doesn't exist.
Again, this is credit to
Seiko is
Vitality.
not as mechanical as Joyo or Oski.
I mean,
I'd put him on Archie's level.
but let's not give credit to Vitality for a second. This just feels like
Okay.
a wasted
I
opportunity.
would.
No,
It feels like
I
a
agree to
team,
disagree.
they've got a huge win in the
Simple as that.
quarterfinals.
I've
It
only
feels
ever
like what I
seen him
used to do, 'cause I
do
know
flip
it.
resets
So
and
I'm
stuff.
like,
When does he ever do
we've
anything
had
special
this,
and actually
we've
hit
done our,
them?
you know, we've done well, we've done our
He
thing.
doesn't
and then
have
show up
to.
again. Not lock
When
back
you're
in
so,
and realise you've got
here's
more
the thing.
matches to go, you still
When you
need
do
to keep
something so damn
showing up.
effectively, you don't have to do other things. It's as simple as that.
Joyo's by far not even contested right now. He is the most mechanical player in the world. Him alone is probably more mechanical than all 3 of those players. And I'm not just talking about he can hit, you know, crazy mechanics. No, I'm talking about he can hit them online, in person, doesn't matter, in the RLCS. He's actually hitting those clips. I've never seen him hit a clip that is actually like, holy shit, he's mechanical. Joyo's hitting Mac Tufts, he's trying to go for triples, like triple flip resets. He's done so many different mechanics. And the same goes with Oski. Oski being the only one to do a double flip reset. Like,
as a spot where you don't think, oh my gosh, we've got to the top 4, now what do we do? You need to think, okay, top 4. That's the we've got here before.
there's no, like, besides Atto, there's no other competition.
Chronic Cyber redirect against 2.
Okay, yeah. And
Opponents in net. Not just 1 in net, 2 in net. Top corner, but it's not going in.
Okay, well, I'd say the entirety of Liquid, former Liquid, and Joyo, those are the only players that stand out to me as
Okay, now I
mechanical
understand.
players.
Yeah, okay. Now I agree.
And this is not as far as Resolve can go. Vitality, they got their 4th at the hands of Zen.
I mean, it's an edge
Like, when I think of
Like-
mechanical players, I mean players who are actively hitting mechanical shots, like, in the RLCS. I'm not talking about they can hit it, because if that's the case, then every player in the RLCS is a mechanical
Yeah,
genius.
I remember one of the Chronic's best shots like it was yesterday, and this was in the RCS. He went from ceiling
absolutely huge. That's kind of what you're playing for. Look, it's a pass mark
then
again, you know. It was
got his flip,
after that win,
pancaked it, and scored.
I don't know if you just saw that, but Radosin is trying to go for a Mac tough reset.
Vitality came into this series statistically #1 so far in the tournament, and those numbers are only going to multiply.
He is actively freestyling.
Oh, Raziz, you gotta hit that.
Yeah, you have to hit that.
That's so painful for him.
It seems to me I'm only about 1.5 seconds behind you, so that's cool.
That's better than every other day.
3 and 5 seconds.
Okay, Ivan, if you don't score here, that was unfortunately too far ahead of him.
With a minute left.
Yeah.
GG's, fellas.
It's 4-0. It's not going to be coming back from. It's okay.
This is going to be the shortest stream we've had ever for the RLCS.
Probably.
Yeah, it's a great day, and it will be interesting to see. Obviously, the first series, the attempt at attacking this top 4 in Europe.
I mean, I don't know if it's a good look for Vitality or not, because it's like they've played their series and smashed them, but they haven't really warmed up. And then if they verse a team that can actually put up a fight against them and they're not warmed up, that might be their downfall.
It's literally just a warm-up game, really.
Yeah, but because they're not really getting much competition against them, it's not much of a warm-up, is it? It's like us versus Plats for warm-ups. Like, it's gonna do almost fuck all.
Warms up the mechanics, but at the same time, if you think about it, it keeps their minds fresh.
You don't need to just get your mechanics warmed up, there's other things. You need to have competition.